Hey y'all, it's your girl Current Reality, and I thank you so much for joining me today on one of my new reaction review videos. I think this is going to be a really super great dope ass topic, especially because it really has to do with real life history that just happened. But if you are new to my channel, I thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you're here. I hope you like this review, and if you do, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you always know when I drop a new video. To my continuous followers and watchers and viewers, I thank you so much, audience. I thank you so much, friends. I thank you so much, Current Reality True Crimers, for just, joining me per usual. So I thank you for being here. Make sure you have on your notifications as well, and make sure you like this video. You ain't got to worry about subscribing because you already within the gang, and that's what matters, okay? You here with me, boo. So I thank you for coming back. So let's get into it really quick. Let's talk about this damn current reality topic. So usually I would do, like, if you see my videos, it's been true crime reviews, which I love to do, but I feel like this one is a true crime, but not quite in the order of saying like they committed a crime that they should go to jail for, or there should be a penalty for it, because it was a good crime for one part of this story, for history. It really was. And then it was another one that isn't a crime. They have the right to do what they did, but it's an ignorant crime. So I just thought I reviewed because they played into each other very well. So the first one we're going to talk about here, let's see, I'm trying to think, what order should I go with this? Because this has to do with everything that happened yesterday, okay, which was February 9th, which is the Super Bowl, okay? So it does have to do partially with the Super Bowl, but it also has to do with an incident that happened before the Super Bowl. So how about we go over the incident that happened before the Super Bowl, okay? So this is what happened earlier that day, or into the mid-morning or early morning time in Cincinnati, where a bunch of, they call them Nazis, I call them all of it. I call them Nazis, Proud Boys, KKK, Aryans, all of that, just racist. So a group of racist men decided that they wanted to go to Cincinnati in a black neighborhood. Not Nazi, Proud Boy, like I just listed, right? They decided they wanted to go into this black neighborhood with their flags up, and they were going to do their little protest. They even had police there to protect them so they can protest, which is, it's America. This is America, okay? They have the right to protest. We do it, they do it, they got the right to protest. But we also got the right to talk to you about your protest while you out there protesting. Because when we protest, if they talk to us, we'll talk to them. We do. We'll walk up to them. Like dead ass. So I feel like if you're willing to protest, then you should be willing to have a conversation. It shouldn't have to get nasty, but you are pushing the line. You are pushing the line to bring yourself into a black community during Black History Month. Is wild behavior. Not new behavior, but wild. Okay? But they did that. They was both emboldened, and they said, we coming through, and they did. And when they did, this black community said, oh, you gonna show up and try to show out? Well, guess what? So are we. And they didn't start off really ugly or nothing like that, but they did step to them. And as they were trying to step to them, police was parked out this bridge that they were on. The Nazi folks. They was on this bridge, right? And the police was parked there, and they were at first trying to stop them, but it ended up being too many in that community coming through, so they didn't have enough manpower to stop that. And that's the thing. Are y'all going to be out there manpowering situations like that for the next 4 years? And as the crowd gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then other people got other stuff going on in other places that you don't have enough people on the force to, well, I don't know though, because there's certain things going on with this administration that, that's a whole nother topic, y'all. It's so much. So watching this is why I was just like, listen, I can see how this is going to start escalating. They're emboldened to come outside right now and literally walk into these neighborhoods. Now, it's said that they supposedly came from California. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where anybody got that from. If that's true, maybe it's the license plates on the U-Haul, because they did use the U-Haul to get there, which that's weird because they always on U-Hauls. But they used the U-Haul, and maybe the tag said California, and that's what they thought. But no lie, I'm a California chick, LA, born and raised, purebred. And I can tell you that we do got KKK out there. It's just that they don't come out like that. That's why if they did come from California, that's because they knew they needed to travel their ass someplace else. Don't do that shit. Not in LA. Like, don't do that. What you thinking? They wouldn't have done that. And that's why they did that. They've come out before, though. Don't get it wrong. They have, but they haven't come all the way out. Like they be up in the mountain areas and stuff, and they don't come all the way down. But they'll come up enough where you can be like, is that them out there? Like that ass. For real. So, but they don't do that for real. So they went all the way to another state if they are from California. I don't know. That's just what was said. But KKK is probably in every state straight across the board. You may not know it. You may not be aware of it. You may not have clocked it. You may not just see it at all. Like, you know, they may not come out and show it. But racism is everywhere. That's just some real shit. And so it doesn't surprise me if they did come from Cali or if they came from Cincinnati or from the state over or whatever. But the point is they came and they tried to show out and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So what I want to do is go over these clips. I want y'all to watch these clips. They're going to be over here. Watch these clips with me really quick on how they was just, you know, showing their ass on this particular day.
So we have an update on these fuckers who decided today to stand over a bridge and wave anti-American 1940s flags, if you're catching my drift, over this highway that is near Cincinnati. I'm going to play this video for you really quickly. So those heroes went up onto that overpass and ran them off. They said, get the fuck off this bridge. And you can see the cops, they were trying to keep the peace, but eventually they acquiesced and let these people pass and pretty much run them off the bridge. This is beautiful. This is the fact that these heroes got up there and stood up to them. Absolutely amazing. I think the cops literally gave in because everyone's tired of this shit. Everyone's tired of this shit. It is popping up left and right all over this country because of fucking Donald Trump and unchecked rhetoric because of Elon Musk and what the fucking shithole that Twitter has become. Yeah, this has been normalized and it's going unchecked by the Republican Party, and this is the result. So thank you to those heroes who came on up there and said, get off. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Y'all know that incident with the in Cincinnati where, you know, the black people rallied up and actually scared them off and burned their flag? That shit was awesome, by the way. But I was on Twitter and I saw the end of the recording, like on the side, and it was a perfect example of how privilege fades, right? They were so comfortable calling them slurs from afar because they're thinking the police is not going to let them touch them. And some of them are going, oh, I'm ready to fight. Fuck all of them. Until they kept getting closer, until they eventually scared them off, until they took their flag and started burning their flag. No fight in sight. I ain't see a single fight in any of the videos yet, but clearly they got close enough to where they took the flag. That was beautiful. We need more of that. We need more of that.
I gotta interrupt really quick. Indeed, we do. We definitely need more of that. And I have to say, the reason why I also feel like they didn't try to buck up is because, did you not see that community? That was a crowd. And they weren't going to do that. And then the cops knew. They were like, nah. Because I think it was only like 3 or maybe 4 cop cars out there. But not enough, I think, to stop a fight that would break out. I mean, eventually it would. But it would still have a fight break out. And it could turn into something dangerous. But then again, it could have happened when they let them go up there. I don't know. But I thank God it didn't, because we're not savage. We're just saying, leave us the fuck alone. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Let me not get to talking. I'll do my commentary at the end.
Bro.
So many people in the comments are giving love to Cincinnati, and rightfully so, because they just set the standard. Cincinnati stood on business. They are showing the country that is exactly how you deal with that particular issue.
I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about the Lincoln Heights situation right now, where the hate group thought they was going to march peacefully. Folks ain't going for that bull, man. Folks are not going for that bull. Y'all thought it was going to be acceptable for y'all to pull up there. Y'all have police escorts and everything. That means nothing. Folks is not playing with y'all. Y'all little hate groups feel like y'all going to run around here and stick your chests out right now because Trump is back in office. We don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
We don't care nothing about that.
None of that.
Folks is not scared of that mess, man.
It's not.
Y'all can get yourselves hurt.
Right? That's
Y'all
what
can
I
get
keep
yourselves
saying.
hurt. And Lincoln Heights just showed y'all. But other than that, man, they got to do better. They better be smarter with their approach. And what's crazy about it is they got police escorts. That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. But salute the Lincoln Heights community. I love how y'all handled that. Much salute to y'all. I like how y'all talk to them cops, let them know, talk to us just as nice as y'all was talking to them.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to do no videos. I mean, I'm not going to clip none of the videos because there's plenty of them floating around. I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. I absolutely love the way the community of Lincoln Heights handled that. Y'all hate groups better stop, man. Y'all better stop. Ain't nobody scared of y'all.
Came to the wrong hood with that shit.
Fuck yeah, Cincinnati. Thank you so much. Burned that flag and ran them out of there.
Preach, sister, preach.
Hey, y'all. So, this right here, I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Preferably, as a lot of people, it has been the hardest time to talk about what's been going on because for some reason, outside of Cincinnati, well, other than Cincinnati, nobody really knows. So apparently, the Nazis decided to bring their ass to Cincinnati, Ohio. As quickly as they came, as quickly as they left, because they took their ass to Lincoln Heights. A lot of you don't know, but Lincoln Heights is also in Cincinnati. They decided a long time ago they weren't taking nobody's shit. So they don't even have a police force in Cincinnati. Yes, they decided to go to the place that ran their own Cincinnati not Cincinnati police, let me take that. Their district police away. Lincoln Heights. So mind you, this is a neighborhood full of YNs, ONs, of women and men.
YN, ON.
These are the people who enjoy
young and ninjas,
bullshit,
ninjas.
fuckery, shooting, killing. You name it. They with all the shit. And they thought, oh, well, we're just doing a peaceful protest. And they felt like because they had the sheriff's department in front of them, like that was going to mean anything. No. Just like back then, when they pushed them motherfucking police out, they made sure that these people right here hop back in their motherfucking wonderful old U-Haul truck. They came in a U-Haul truck.
Y'all, they came in a U-Haul truck.
Yeah. It's really funny. I tried to do a video, but for some reason, TikTok does not want me to show the videos of how they were talking to the people and how quickly they ran when those people let them know, y'all will die today. I know y'all hearing that, and y'all like, oh, don't say that. Understand. I am from a place, Cincinnati, Ohio, is from a place where a lot of slaves a long time ago used to run free to. So this is a place where if you decide that you want to be a racist, you need to know how to fight, or you need to have a weapon. Okay?
That still might not save you.
And that may not work. This is also a place where we had a riot a long, long time ago as well. Because for some reason, people don't believe us when we say we're not all rap tight.
No, they not. I've been to Ohio.
We don't argue with other states because we're too busy arguing with each other. So the one time that you thought that you were going to come here, probably not the best solution to argue with the people who will argue with their own mother, who will fight their sisters. Okay? Love you. Bye. Happy Black History Month.
I had to elevate myself and hold myself to a level of responsibility and accountability and charity and business ownership that I could be proud of. And I got to stop at a stop sign and somebody called me a N-word.
So this small business owner from Cincinnati was driving across I-75 and came across a Nazi rally. See the picture here. They're standing on an overpass, proudly displaying their hatred. It's no surprise that this is emerging under this new administration. They've been emboldened.
It's been expected. We knew.
And what's not been covered by mainstream media is Cincinnati, the city where this occurred, and their response to this. Because residents showed up in a big way. Hundreds of people showed up to protest and eventually resulted in these Nazis leaving. I don't know how to say that this is the new norm in America when you normalize hatred. But I am proud of my fellow citizens for standing against hate. We need to make it so uncomfortable to be a white supremacist in this country that they stop doing it.
I love my people. I love my people. And I'm proud of y'all.
So proud.
But y'all be safe out there. They want to see us act out.
Yes.
They want to see us act out.
They gonna push the button.
They're looking for a reason for us to act
They
out.
gonna push the button.
Just be safe out there.
Yep.
My thing is, why would y'all go out there to Cincinnati, Ohio, Lincoln Heights? Me personally, any place that's got heights in it, I know it's hood in the ghetto. Hey, personal experience. I have a brother who lives in Ohio. I asked him, how hood is Lincoln Heights? He told me, depends on the day. There are a bunch of crash outs. It's one of those places where you go point A to point B and get out. Why would you go there? Huh?
The amount of videos that I've been seeing on my TikTok of people saying how proud they are of Cincinnati, or how great it feels to be from a town that actually stands on business, it just reminds me, not of this particular incident, but the way I learned how to spell Cincinnati. And this is completely a side note. But does anybody remember the movie Babes in Toyland? Okay, this has nothing to do, and I'm not, this is completely different than what that topic is, but it's how I learned how to spell Cincinnati. Babes in Toyland had an entire scene where they sang, I come from Cincinnati, Cincinnati, the best place in Ohio, Ohio, USA. At first they called it Cincy, but they named it Cincinnati. They named it Cincinnati, so they say. The girls are pretty, pretty in this pretty little city. The fellows are the finest boys I've seen. Something like this, okay? Let me tell you, I'm so happy that I remember how to spell this because of this actual song, and so proud of what I'm seeing on all of these TikToks today, because stand on business, Cincinnati.
I never heard
Today is a
song.
blessed Black History Month day. Anybody, whoever has been subscribed to my page since the beginning of time, know that I said the Klan tried to march through Cincinnati, through Lincoln Heights, Ohio specifically. Well, guess the fuck what? This shit done happen again. Yo, I can't make this shit up. Just Google it. I'm gonna try to tag somebody and repost their video, but this shit is hilarious, man. You can't make up this white people. They do the same stuff all the time. All the time. It's like they just can't come up with nothing new. They just do the same stuff over and over and over again. It shows you the limit of the Nazis' thinking.
A lot of people was talking about what happened in Cincinnati, Ohio. There was about 13 people dressed in all black with rifles, waving swastikas and doing what they do. Here's the thing, they were very strategic in where they went. They went to a place called Lincoln Heights, and that's in Cincinnati, Ohio. And here's the thing, they was waving around a banner, a Yahtzee banner, and marching. But that wasn't good enough. They decided to go on this overpass on I-75 and line up with their little flags and stuff. Now, if you don't know that the area that they were in is a historically black village. And let me give y'all some history on it. So basically, it was founded like in the 1920s as a suburb for black and brown owners. And it was the first African-American led self-governing community. And it was north of the Mason-Dixon line. This is exactly where these people with the flags and all of that started doing their yaya. To this day, it remains 95% of African-Americans. Here's the thing. The people in our community was like, wait, what? The people in our community proceeds to go find a truck that they believe belonged to one of the 13 people that was dressed in all black showing out. And they went to the Jeep, slashed the tires, broke the windows, was burning the flag. I mean, they was like, what's up? People in the community was like, we standing up. Y'all not gonna come over here with that. This is not the generation. Ooh. And this is what people have been talking about. This is the spirit. This is the spirit of a certain individual who every time you pop your head up and you decide to be a biggie wig and head honcho elect over the country, all of a sudden we start hearing and seeing mess like this pop off. It makes you wonder. Now I'm gonna say this.
It don't make me wonder. I know it is.
Y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Just so y'all know, get ready, because this is already starting. There is a spirit in the land. The Bible says in the last days, one of the actual seals, one of the horse comes on its rider. I'm paraphrasing the scripture, by the way. And one of them symbolizes taking peace from the earth. But y'all not trying to hear that though. There is a sense of chaos that is trying to sit in this country, a specific spirit of chaos, chaotic foolery. And even though that happened in Cincinnati, Ohio, I believe if that happens in the wrong area, in the wrong place, it's going to go left. It's because going to go it is left, the spirit left, right, that has been unleashed. It's right, part of that witchcraft spirit that I've been telling y'all about, manipulation, to implement certain demonic things on a lot of different people. That's all I can say. People don't realize is hatred for anybody is a spirit. It comes, it dwells in the spirit of anger. It dwells in so many other spirits that's wrapped into that. People just don't hate just because they're mean. It's invoked by a demonic entity, a demonic spirit. And the more as this year escalate, there is spirit of chaos stemming from the witchcraft spirit to manipulate certain scenarios in this country. I believe that if this wasn't, I don't know the people that's in Lincoln Heights, but they handled that well. But that could have went a whole nother way. We are going to see a lot more of these things taking place. I can't go into detail like I really want to. I think those who get it. Those who don't, oh well, just slip. Bye, scroll. Scrolling is your best friend. When the Bible says wars and rumors of wars, it wasn't just speaking of nations against nation. You have to understand the Bible says nation will rise against nation. What do y'all think wars and rumors of wars mean? Catch it! I think it's weird that it happened this week, and I think it's weird that this week is getting ready to be that Super Bowl. I'm telling y'all, there's something getting ready to be unleashed in the spirit realm concerning a lot of different things for this country and in this earth. Pay attention. Right after the Super Bowl, I'm telling y'all now, right after that happens, y'all will begin to see the chaos and the ripple effect from whatever ritual, whatever spiritual, demonic, wiki, whatever they got going on, because that's whatever they got going on, we are going to see it manifest in the land.
All right. So as you see, Cincinnati was just not with it. Well, at least in this village right there, that community was not with it. And I feel like, to me, that community sets a tone of how we should, try to approach these weird ass situations that are going to be on the rise, that we do see being on the rise. Excuse me. I also agree wholeheartedly with the last video where the young lady was talking about the spirits, the movement that is going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a new cycle coming about, and there's some things that are rising from beneath to the surface of the earth. And Revelations does talk about it. I can't remember if what she was saying is quite in Revelations, but I do know that Revelations does, refer to spirits and people being taken over by demonic things and behaving a certain way. And that's been going on forever. The spiritual battle has never been new. on this planet and with humans and with our souls. It's never been new. So I totally agree with her. I think it's just in another cycle, a new stage, and it's about how we are going to approach and handle it. But she's also right that this is time to really pay attention because it's going to escalate, and it is. Because it's not like this type of energy isn't just it's released in small doses until it builds up and 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 builds up. And she's correct. It can turn into something bad, but every community like this needs to stand on 10, very similar to this, as much as you can. And things could go left. Well, to y'all, that's left. But at any time, things can go definitely wrong at these type of situations. So I think that it is important that all communities should handle it with the type of respect and approach that we just witnessed with Cincinnati. I think they did right, and that is their home. That's their community. And the fact that they got no cops, no police. So that was, and earlier I was like, well, maybe it's because, it wasn't enough of them, because it wasn't enough of them, and it explains why. They're like, listen, we govern, we police our own situation. They may have their issues, but it stays within their community. It doesn't go outside of it, so don't bring your shit inside of ours. And I'm in total agreement. I want a community like that. I'm trying to buy land and build a community just like that. And so we have to think about, in our communities that we are in, how do we do that the same way now? Because this rise it's going to happen. It's going to become more and more and more. And they were so emboldened to do this. I think I said in the beginning, it was earlier that day. It may have been a couple of days beforehand. I could have sworn it was like within that Super Bowl time. But the bottom line was, it was right before the Super Bowl. And as I'm watching the Super Bowl is when I ended up seeing videos about it. And I was like, that is crazy. And I went back to watching the Super Bowl and was like, I'm going to come back to this video. And so when I came back to it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's insane. Because Kendrick Lamar's whole entire performance at the Super Bowl, to me, entwines into what we just seen there because of the symbolic message that he had, visuals that he had, like the whole everything. It had a message. And just to see those people think that this was the time of day to take your butt up to anybody's community, anybody's home, anybody's safe place, and to insert your privilege in their faces like that. Listen, you want to be that way, be that way. That's your business. But stay that way in your community. We don't come to y'all bothering any of y'all. So don't do that. And then if you're going to do that, for fuck's sakes, be smart. Like, I know y'all not as smart as a cookie in a cookie jar, but be a little smart. Somewhere. You cannot be all raisin brained. You cannot, because you didn't even think to look up the history of that to find. Like, y'all so ignorant, y'all don't want to know. And y'all putting yourselves in danger, because the thing is, it's not like back in those days. It's a lot different. And Black folks move different, and because they can live different, and they're going to behave different, and they're going to react different than what it was before. And it's like, if you keep pushing a button, you're going to get something you don't want. And there's so many warning signs over and over and over that you guys are going to build to something bad. But then at the same time, I think about the casualties at the same time that will happen in the Black community as well. There's a lot of talk about a lot of other things, which I'm putting some posts on my TikTok about. But it's a lot of talk about other things, about deportation, everything. And a lot of our Black people in the Black community are not paying attention to some of the things that are going to affect us, not just DEI. Like, Trump is putting in a mandate for police officers to remove body cams. That's a whole nother topic I'm going to talk about. But it's out there, and I'm going to share the article. I'm going to do a whole review on it. So we have to prepare ourselves, because that type of mess they're just going to be more emboldened. And I guarantee you, after their fellow colleagues in this same type of organization that they're in, which is no different than a gang, after those colleagues see this and it gets around, they're going to be ready to try to gear up and try to react up and act up again. They probably won't go to that particular town. They probably going to be like, listen, no. Because ain't nobody going to be there with us. No matter how many there are of them, they're not going to do it. I hope not. That would be so stupid. Even if they came with a whole bunch more, you know what's going to happen? Black people from other communities are just going to come over there to help fight with them, and they're just still going to be outnumbered. And that's the insanity of it. So they should just not. They shouldn't in any community, anywhere, because that's how we should be in everyone. But I think if they're thinking, they should know that could be a great possibility to happen to them. So they're not going to pick to try to do that, but I do believe that they're going to come out more. I'm not saying I want them to, but they are going to come out more. They already feel emboldened. That's just going to anger them, because them people handled that. There's another video out by another young man I was going to insert in here, but I don't want to make it too long, because what I want to talk about next is how, to me, that incident happening and then Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super Bowl play into each other historically, just like seamlessly. Because Kendrick Lamar's performance, some people is out there like, okay, it was cool. I'm not gonna lie, I seen some posts that said it was mid. I'm not the type of person to decipher everything down. So what I'm about to review about this is just some things that I seen that was very symbolic and very metaphorical, but very much so outspoken. It was very much so where you can, like if you listening and you comprehension is key. And you can comprehend, and you can see that it's like it said, this is bigger than the music. It's bigger than the beef. It's bigger than the rap. It's so much more involved in what is going on and what I'm saying and everything that you witnessed from 2024, that beef, all the way down to this moment. It was a lot going on in it that I think fits well with what happened in a sense. Because that happens, and then we have this epic moment in the NFL history. Kendrick Lamar is not the first rapper to do the Super Bowl, because Dr. Dre did it with Snoop Dogg and had Mary J. Blige up there in 2022. So it's not the first rap, and I think it might have been somebody else, but it's the way he did it. So when people are like, it was cool, I expected more wow, I'm like, you're not listening, because the wow was all over that. Visually, sound, lyrically, like it was everywhere. It was everywhere. Even starting from the very freaking beginning of his performance. Kendrick Lamar starts out with this posing on his vehicle, the GNX, that vehicle, just like that. And then what's crazy is it opens up, and when it opens up, it's like all these folks, red and blue, and I think a couple of whites, was not white people, but suited in white, jumped out the car. And it was like a bunch of, and it's so funny to me, because part of it made me think, was this about like how cats are in LA, especially like our brown brothers and sisters, and mostly our brown brothers and gangs? They will be packed up in a car. They will be packed up in a car. So it's like he came packed. He came ready. He came LA ready, because our Hispanics are part of LA too. They are part of our history. Even though we got what's going on right now with deportation, all that other stuff, and we're bringing up old situations, because I brought up an old situation between them. But even though we're doing that, the truth of the matter is you can't change it. They are still part of our community. They are still part of our history, and we are part of their history. And so I feel like that kind of put them in this whole scenario with us too. But it's also, you can find some LA cats doing the same thing, some LA black boys doing the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm being packed up in a car. So I just thought that was really dope. But it was what he started off with lyrically. I'm not gonna play it here because I don't want no marks or dings, but you go and watch it, because it's being played over the Super Bowl. It's being played on YouTube and other people's channels. I want you guys to go ahead and watch it and see it and listen to the lyrics that he states, because it's really powerful if you listen to what he's saying. He's speaking words to truth. He's speaking truth to life. He's putting it out there into existence. If you go and just go listen to it. I didn't play here because I didn't want to make this too long, but I'm telling y'all, go and listen to this first beginning song of the Super Bowl performance. It's literally speaking to you. But then he doesn't stop there. He really gets at us. Like, to me, he really gets at us when he inserts this part of his performance in it. Because if you listen to what he's saying here and you think about what happened over there in Cincinnati, you're going to be like, oh yeah. And then he throws, just look, he does, this is how, Kendrick Lamar is diabolical on so many levels, besides just being petty and knowing how to wear the hate card in full body armor. Like, so much more. It's when he did this. It's when he went and took our Uncle Samuel L. Mother Jackson and put him on that mother stage as Uncle Sam. And then what was it in Django, that movie he played, and I can't remember what his name was. No, it wasn't that movie. What? I think so. I think it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And then he has him dressed as Uncle Sam. And then listen, it's the things that Samuel L. Jackson says, right? You know, it's the things that he says. Let's go through a rundown of the things that he says throughout this performance as like the commentator or the narrator or the reactor to what's going on. Hence, us reactors. I love that. Not that that's what that's related to. I'm just trying to give myself props for being a reactor. And I just feel like basically the bottom line, he comes in narrating little parts in it. And I love it. So let's run through it really quick. Let's listen to what Uncle Samuel L. Jackson had to say.
It's your Uncle Sam. And this is the great American game. Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. Think about the homeboys with the old culture cheat code. Scorekeeper, deduct 1 life. That's what America wants.
Hold up. So do y'all understand that part right there? Okay, if you don't, let me go back. Let me tell you something. I'm not about to decipher this whole thing. I actually only got like 2 more things I'm about to bring up about it. If you want a more detailed decipher description, like how they dig into the rabbit hole of what Kendrick Lamar does, if you want that, I advise you to go check out, first off, New Life Shack. I love that YouTuber. He is such a great kid. His reactions are great, and he'll talk through them and explain. But if you want super detail, you'll check out Knox Hill. He's another YouTuber that I'm a fan of. He will definitely do the same thing. He'll break down deeply though. Like I like Knox Hill. Knox Hill will be going into it. The Ville does as well. Screwface Gene does as well. He'll break it down. I like watching him too. He's cool. Big Geesh cracks me up. Yeah, get. I'm not gonna do his thing, but that's what he does, and he is so freaking funny to me. I like to watch him. And his reactions. He's good. Then Deleted. Deleted is another good one, but if you're gonna go watch Deleted, you better have a backbone because he will come for you if you come for him in them comments, and he will rip you to shit. But Deleted is one of my favorites. So because he is so funny, because he can be so brutally honest. But anyways, if you want super detail on it, you want to check those out. What I'm about to just go through is some things that stood out to me, especially in regards to the incident that happened in Cincinnati. All right, so let's go all the way back. So for me to play, just listen really good. Hopefully the captions are on. So let's go all the way back to it so y'all can hear what he says.
It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the great American game. Oh, too loud, too reckless.
He said too loud, too reckless.
Too ghetto.
Too ghetto.
Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game?
Do you really know how to play the game?
Tighten up.
Then tighten up.
Your homeboys with you. Yo.
See, he said, oh, you brought your homeboys with you.
Culture cheat code.
The culture cheat
Scorekeeper,
code.
deduct 1 life. That's what America wants now.
So the slave catchers would keep a scorekeep of how many slaves they actually catch that stay alive, that end up having to be killed. They did keep a record of that. And that's what's the scorekeeper of slaves that, were being, captured or killed. So to me, I feel like that's part of it because of the whole Uncle Sam stuff, because they also got paid for that. Well, slave catchers got paid for catching those folks as well, dead or alive a lot of times. So, and they were paid by Uncle Sam at one point in time for that. So I didn't know if he's related to that, but I took it like symbolic like that because that's kind of what those Nazi boys are on. If they can round up blacks and haul them in dead or alive, I feel like they would do that. And so it just spoke to me in that moment. And I feel like I said, as it escalates, we can have that type of ignorance going on, like them trying to score keep. But let's finish listening to the rest of it.
That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't mess this.
And that's where Kendrick Lamar comes in with the song that everybody's been waiting on. But that was my thing. I felt like because everybody was so much waiting, like anticipating that song, like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna diss Drake in front of everybody? And, you know, Super Bowl's being watched everywhere. I don't care all the people talking about, I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. A lot of them probably accidentally watched it just because they may have seen something that maybe they had plans on not watching it, but they got quite the viewership for this goddamn Super Bowl halftime. So to me, all that talk was nothing. But even though the stadiums didn't look like a whole lot of black folks, everywhere you go on social media, most black families were at home with friends and family where they had liquor that they bought for themselves at their home. It didn't cost them hundreds of dollars to get one cup of a drink. They had their own food. They were in their own warm space. They were with friends and family. Everybody could be around. So that's usually how black people most of the time watch the Super Bowl. Even folks that got money that could probably afford a ticket and go, they still prefer to do it that way because they were friends and family and enjoying it. So it was a lot of black families that definitely tuned in. And I believe it was a lot of other families because I seen some brown families. I seen some different cultured families tuning in, showing their reactions to the halftime. So people tuned in, and then the audience was still amazing to see them there and the way they sung along once he did finally do the Not Like Us video or song, they all got the whole stadium screaming out A minor, which brings me to some more symbolic things that I've seen in Kendrick Lamar's whole entire performance. So the other things that I found symbolic about what was going on in this whole entire performance, and like I was saying, a lot of people were just so hyped about the Not Like Us that maybe they didn't see the visuals. That's why I'm like, for people to say, I was looking for more wow, if you were catching what he did. Like, he put his disses even in the visual of performing at the Super Bowl, for instance. Do y'all not see this A right here? So I seen a lot of people make comments like, oh, it's just like the Amazon symbol. It's for Amazon. Like, what would it be for Amazon? Like, he could have a deal with Amazon, but I don't think he's going to wear Amazon a chain for that. And y'all missing it. The main part of the song that you guys sing out loud is what he's wearing on his chest. And y'all don't get it. So if you remember in school, you learned about lowercase and uppercase. And you may have learned that lowercase is also considered minor. It's a minor letter. You can say little, minor, lowercase for a small letter. And he happens to be wearing an A, I'm going to say this again. He happens to be wearing A minor. Let me help y'all out for those that may not understand. Hold on. He happens to be wearing, open this up for you, an A minor freaking chain. The main part of the song that everybody goes crazy. They sing mustard, and then they be wop 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 wop. I'm gonna do my stuff. Wop wop wop. Yeah, you know they do that one too. But A minor is the one that everybody screams out tough, and he's wearing it on his chest. That is a diss to this man's face. Again, I'm gonna wear it on your face. As well as as well as when he takes the jacket off, it says, keep these people away from me, or keep them away from me, or something like that. I can't remember it, but it's on the back of his shirt. And people were like, oh, people should make those shirts so I can wear them. If you can, you should make them shirts. But that A minor, that's what that is on his chest. And I thought that was so freaking dope. Like, did he literally come out there and wear his diss on him too? I mean, he did it when he did the Canadian tuxedo. I did not know jean on jean was a Canadian thing, but I guess it is. And it was so funny that he did, like, every time he has literally worn like, he's literally putting it so deep in this man's face. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. But it doesn't end there. Y'all may not be able to see it as well, but also right here, on Mustard, he's wearing the flag, and he's wearing it backwards. So you may not know it, but I believe this is also dedicated to Civil War, because during Civil War, it wasn't a sign of disrespect, and a lot of people felt like it may have been. They were saying something, but it's not actually. It's actually a sign of courage, of their faith in being an American, and their love for their country, and being able to charge into battle, or getting ready to charge into battle, because they wore it like that during the Civil War. And that's what it meant. It was to the military, to the soldiers. So it's not a diss. But I think what he's saying too is because it's not a diss, and that is about them having courage, their love and unity for America. It's beautiful too, because it's also about charging into war, getting ready. And that's what they low-key are saying. The beginning of his video, of his performance, I told you guys, go listen to that song. Like the beginning of that, go listen to that. And planting Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam in there, and what he's saying, it plays in that to that. Him having that flag backwards that represented how they would represent their military during the Civil War, with courage, with dignity, with love, with the love for being an American, and charging in, like going in for that charge into war. That's what it was about. And I feel like that was a sign, because I feel like Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl was all about a message. It wasn't about glitz and glam. I don't think he wanted all of that, because if you had things blowing up and you had Tommy the Clown or anybody else there or whatever, it would have took away him trying to drop a message. And I really feel like this was a performative message that he wanted to leave. And for those that ain't sleep, and if you are woke, they know how to just wake the fuck up, is what he's saying. Wake up. Stop being woke and just wake up. And that's some real shit. And I love that. And that's the symbolics I got out of that, because I just felt like that's what was coming from that right there. The A minor chain, that's a diss to Drake straight up. The flag backwards and mustard, that's to let us know because he's coming out speaking to his community, to his Black Americans, to his blacks, and some of his brown, if not all of his brown. He's speaking and saying, stand up, okay? Stand on 10 and get ready to charge for war. Get ready to be ready. Fight for your country. Defend it. Stand on 10. I took a lot out of that. That's what I got out of it anyways. And maybe that's because I'm a Compton chick and we just kind of see things like that. We always ready for war. Even when we so cool and chill. We always ready. And I just feel like that's what he was getting that message out. But not just the folks of California and LA, but straight across the board. If you're paying attention, if your comprehension gears is moving and they're on. It was all of us. And I think that was dope. Dope as hell. So I took that out of that. It was dope in that very moment right there to me. And like I said, especially with the Civil War, with the flags being like that, you know, if it's relating back to Civil War and how it was worn and what it actually meant, and how we can also be using that to our power as we did then. But just this time, applying it to all of America, especially our Black community. Get ready. Because of the shit like this. The Cincinnati shit. Get ready. Because, and it's crazy because it's about the divide that's in America too. And that's when he got me, when he hit us with this, y'all. Look at this. Check this out. Hold on. First off, when they ended up coming out there, they came out and they were suited as a whole flag. When the camera did the high shot looking down, it was a whole flag and it was all together, and I loved it. And it was all beautiful Black, brown-skinned people. It's no disrespect to y'all. If you take it as disrespect, that is not brown-skinned, that's not melanated, that's not Black, that's not. If you take, then you're disrespecting yourself in the history that your family is a part of. Because he wouldn't have been able to make that be so symbolic if people did not take those people's ancestors, my ancestors, and brought them here. And now we are the natives of this country, because it was our blood, sweat, and tears and agony that literally built this country. So every one of them bodies should be lined up against that flag, because so many of them bodies were lined up against that flag, and not in a good way. So I feel like that was so dope to me. It stood out. It says so much. It was so symbolic. And then I'm just thinking, yes. You know, like that's all of them. That Black is American. Black is American. My ancestors literally were enslaved. My family has 2 tribal ancestors. We were enslaved and we were mixed. For real. I know my family history. So that was so like dope. But then he hit it by making it more symbolic when he split them. And I was like, yeah, because the country is so divided. We've always been divided somewhere, one way or the other. It's always been some type of issue that separated us, especially the race thing. That's always an issue, bruh. Cincinnati proved it. And that sucks because it should not be an effing issue. It just really shouldn't be. Because it's a ridiculous issue. It makes no sense to just hate people because I don't even want to get into that. But our country is divided, and we're divided on not just with racism, we're divided politically. I mean, I would say I would say we are, but slowly but surely folks are starting to lean with each other, not because they're seeing the difference, saying, you know what, I can love you. It's because there's certain things that are happening that they didn't think was going to affect them, but now they see it is. And so now it's about let's get together. And as you guys know, it's that 92% letting it be known they ain't going to be stumping the ground. Ain't going to be no marching, ain't going to be no tea parties, ain't going to be none of that shit. And I think that's got some people a little nervous, a little worried. We don't know what's going to happen, but the country is divided. But I think if it comes to it getting to the point where we got to say, okay, we're going to come back to this issue. But right now we need to make sure we stop some fuckery from doing some real big damage. At some point, we're going to all have to team together for that one. Because it's going to get real nasty and ugly. I have another video I'm going to be dropping that has to do with the 2025 project and how parts of this is already in effect. Executive order has already been pushed out because we've been talking about so many other things that we missed something that's directly going to affect the Black community. Yes, DEI has to, or at least is really starting to more for certain Black communities or certain people. But it's affected everybody, gays, even some regular old white women I done seen. It's affecting folks, you know. But it's something that's going to directly affect Black people right off top. It's going to trickle down and affect others, but it's direct to us. And I feel like we're not talking about, and we need to get on and stop focusing on other stuff, because other stuff is other people's battles. And we need to get into our own, because we are a divided country. But while we're divided in our division of what we got, we need to band together and get right. Because this is America, and we live in it. Our people's blood, sweat, torture, love, hate, agony, all that shit is in the soil of America. It is in the soil. I know it may belong to other people, etc., etc. We will talk about that at a later date. But when we talk about how this was built, how it became what it is today, we talk about our ancestors who put in that goddamn work. So many of them that we may not even know about, that were killed, that were God knows what, and they created something that benefits us, but somebody else is living off of that. Somebody else is taking credit for that. It's a lie. And I'm not saying we did everything, but goddamn, we know we did most. So this is why I found this performance, and it's so many other things in there that's symbolic, that I feel like, again, the people I named, the YouTubers I named, go check out their channels. I'm sure they're going to react and break it down for y'all like that. Y'all should check. But for this Cincinnati situation, this just fit the bar. It just fit when I caught those symbolizations and what's going on there. We have to get our shit together, because this is only going to escalate and get worse. It's going to be more stories and more videos. And please, please, people, yes, keep video recording alive. Because there's going to be certain things taken away that you're going to be mad that you didn't have your phone on. And that's why I said I'm going to drop a video discussing that, because I don't feel like it's talked about enough. And things have already started moving and we're missing it. And we're not going to know about it until we have to get fucking outraged. And we shouldn't have to wait till then. I mean, it might happen even with us knowing, but at least we knew. We could be a little more prepared for how our outrage is going to be outrageous. You feel me? But that's all I wanted to talk about when it came to this video. I don't know how y'all felt about it, if it made sense, if it connected, those symbolizations connected. And I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar did that because of that situation. I'm just saying that's how the spirits is roaming. That's how things are intertwined. That's how the universe is working its way. That means there is a revolution coming. That means there is about to be a big change. That means there is a reason to get prepared. That means there is some things that's going to happen that we are going to make even more slam dunk history with. This is just the beginning. It's going into 2025 with what we got going on. This is only just the beginning, and that's what makes this so damn symbolic to me, especially to that situation, because both of these situations happen in real time, current reality, in current timing and reality of life. They both happen. And I can't remember if it was the same day, but it was within the same crescent moon. And with that being said, it's just like, stop being woke and wake the fuck up. Get ready, get geared up. So I don't know how you feel about that. If you think the same thing, maybe you're just like, you're just losing it, lady. Maybe so, but I'm losing it with at least trying to think on my toes. And I know me, I'm a preparer either way it goes. I'd rather be losing it with doing a little too much than not losing it at all and be mad as when shit start popping off the way that I'm already knowing it's going to. So you do the math. But anyhow, you let me know what you think about this video, how I connected those two. Please leave your comment below. Let me know what other stories that you would like to maybe see me review and talk about. And I will sure enough do that. I do have some more videos coming, so stay tuned for it. And like I said in the beginning, if you're new here, I thank you so much for being here and watching this video all the way through and through. If you made it this far, it means I kept your interest some kind of way. So why don't you go ahead and subscribe and see if I go ahead and catch it at least one more time. And if you don't subscribe this time, cool. But the second time you come back, make it your business to hit that subscribe. But this time around, hit that like and do definitely turn on your notifications so you can make sure to know when I do drop that next video for you to review with me. To my always here supporters and lovers, I just love y'all, period, and then some, okay? I got some more videos coming, so stay tuned for that. Make sure your notifications are on, because I don't want you to miss me, okay? Because I don't want to miss you, period, boo. All right, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all go ahead and have a beautiful Black History Month, Valentine's Day, and stress-free as much as possible in 2025. All right, y'all, I'll be back with another one later. Deuces.